We're on our way to Alaska. Hello, Joy. Are we ready to go?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Eddie, are you ready?
We're there, ain't we?
And there's Bill. Pretty soon,
Are
pretty
we
soon.
having fun yet? Oh, yeah.
And Shirley. Mr. Mueller, are we having fun yet?
Haven't had my coffee yet.
Okay, we're getting ready to board the plane to Vancouver. We will be leaving shortly. Getting ready to board the Horizon flight on our way to Vancouver to start our cruise.
CBS News. Mostly
There you go,
BS.
Joy. Where's EP? Here comes the late Eddie P.
New experience every day.
Okay. Are you with this group?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Here comes Joy and Ed. Here she comes. We're boarding the ship. Ship ahoy. Whoa. There's Joy.
Myself from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, I got some fans right on. Right. Okay, I'm about 12-hour drive that way to my home. So my question for you today is, where will I be DJing every night this cruise at about 11:15 in the evening? You can come up and touch my hand and tell me the name of the place where I am DJing.
Hey, we're cruising. We're leaving Vancouver Port. Want to say anything, Paul?
No.
Wave goodbye.
What? 5 years of planning? We are.
Joy is exercising while she's on vacation. Say hi, Joy. Too much work, Joy. They're carving an ice sculpture in the kitchen. That's pretty. How they do that?
Smiled.
Joy and Ed. Bill and Shirley. There's Dad. Mr. Paul.
Close up?
That's a close-up. Yeah, it's a close-up.
Oh, hi.
Okay, now I'm on.
Anything really special?
Sure glad we're all here.
Right here.
We're on the U.S. Rhine Dam. Right out, gonna be in Ketchikan tomorrow in Alaska.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, baby. Say goodnight, Irene.
Night, Irene.
Press the button again.
I just stopped.
Press the button again.
Just getting this. Yeah. Just light the candle for me.
We're in Ketchikan, Alaska. We just arrived. We docked off the boat. Is everybody? Say hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Holy.
Over half an inch a day.
Well,
Well, are you gonna start walking?
I hope.
these boots are.
Oh, this is not good.
Oh, you're sick. I'm telling you.
Joy. We're following you guys. There's our ship docked at the pier. These are bald eagles at the, where are we, Joy? Heritage Center?
Just gonna wait and see if anyone else walks in the next couple minutes.
We're just drying off. We're biding our time to get the rain on. Kind of like your human.
They have 8 times the eyesight that we have. They have no peripheral vision. They compensate with that by being able to turn their head 180 degrees. They also have polarized vision, and what that does for them is it makes it to where they can see into the water. They see no reflection on top of the water, and when you take a picture, the flash will just reflect right out of their eyes. Another thing that it does for them is it gives them superb depth perception in the water. You know how when we drop a coin in the water and we go to reach for it, it's really not right there. You kind of got to go to the left or to the right. They don't have that. They see exactly where things are, as if there was no water there. About the steelhead trout. As you can figure, I found out about 3 days ago that these are not steelhead trout, and these are rainbow trout. I don't know anything about that species. I know that they lived for about 2 to 3 years. That's about it. But if you guys want to do me a big favor and pretend that these are steelhead trout, I could tell you all about those. Could you guys do that for me? All right. Vision's pretty much pointless if you're going to king salmon after king swimming. They're not crazy about what they eat. Yeah, actually, that's what we hunt the whole time when the salmon are not running. So, there's quite a few good places.
Here's the smaller ones too.
Oh, look at all these. Look at all these mountains.
Now those same all 5 species of salmon will be mounted on the wall. All 5 species of salmon will change color when they get to the water, or to the fresh water. They will get darker or brighter. In the pink's case, they will get darker. This is how they appear out in the ocean. All the top models are how they appear out in the ocean. As they hit the bricks, depending on female and male, they'll change different colors.
Okay, we're at the Totem Heritage Center in Ketchikan. Big, huge totem pole. Ed and Joy are going to go on a little tour of some park. Viewing Ketchikan, Alaska. There's a plane that just landed. Little float plane. Kind of watching for Ed and Joy, but I don't see them yet. They have an hour before we have to get back on the ship, so hope they're having a wonderful time. Here come Ed and Joy back. Oh, no, I can't see them. Joy! Joy! Up here! Hey! There's Ed and Joy.
red thing's
It's on.
blinking.
It's on.
It's
We're at
blinking.
the Mendenhall
Yeah.
Glacier.
And
in
there's
Alaska.
up there. See, there's Bill and Cheryl. They're on their helicopter up there.
They probably are. Beautiful.
Oh, my stomach could handle that. In the helicopter.
Joy and Ed are walking towards the Mendenhall Glacier. Water reach. Say hi, Bob.
Boy, is this something else. Just like Minnesota. Minnesota in the springtime.
Yeah, right. Shirley and Bill are up there in one of those helicopters, I bet. Like 3 or 4 of them up there.
And that's where we still have a weekly service in this one. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
God, isn't that just?
Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful.
What a view from in there. See up there.
Wow, you can almost see the tops of these mountains.
What's that? Gaining on that fish, are you complaining? Well, no. Where? Yeah, where? Where? Oh, did you tighten up the drag?
I don't know. It keeps coming at all.
That's fine.
Is it?
Still got him, everybody? Bill. She's sweating. Don't drop that rod and reel. You'll be buying that. Kmart.
Kmart.
Okay, reel down. Reel kind of down and lift him up. Do that again. Lift him back, way back, way back. Okay, now do it again.
This way?
Okay. Do it one more time. Okay, now lift him up. Lift his head up so I can get a hold of him. Reel down again. You gain on you. Okay, do it again. Okay, when you pull back gentler. You just went to the bottom. Forward over there. Now reel forward. Holy shit, he's way out for you.
Yeah.
Way out. Okay, do it again. Lift up, lift up. Bring it forward again. Lift, lift. Hit him in the head. Sorry if I just knocked him off. Put it in your pocket.
That son of a bitch doesn't like that.
How are we doing over here? Oh, she's way out there. Okay, slow down. Reel down. Lift him gradually, slowly.
There we go.
Ooh, club right behind you.
It's a beauty.
That's a
Chip up.
Joy. There's Joy.
What?
Joy's sweating.
And you didn't even have to exercise this morning, Joy. Well, there he is. He's still way out there.
Give him a straight lift.
Still way out there.
Okay, you can let some slack out on it. Peel some line out of there. How you doing?
Oh, wouldn't Krista
Joy?
love this, huh?
Am I getting anywhere?
You know that old song by Harry Nilsson, Joy to the World? Was a beautiful girl, but to me joy was only sorrow. You ever hear that?
Mama. Enjoy the road.
On the Nielsen Schmielsen album.
Yeah. We'll throw you over the edge.
Yeah, Paul just...
Yours. Come on now. You don't have to be vicious about this.
No, you got a fish.
I'm pretty light about it, actually. You said you don't have to be vicious about it.
Make sure you keep that tip up. You battle this thing, you deserve it in the boat.
That thing probably started out 25 pounds. It's going to come in and lost 5 pounds.
You do better always 25 pounds.
Joy, when you had exercise this morning.
Either that or Joy will throw it out 5 pounds.
Oh shit, it's 10 feet long.
Where do you grab this guy?
Right like this.
Like that?
Yeah. Get her up.
Are you brushing his teeth? Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There, it's okay. I think.
Yeah.
It's a 16.
Hi, honey.
Joy, you all tuckered out? I'm getting tuckered out. Joy holding onto the scale.
I mean, he's good all by himself. Hey, have a couple meals there. Good. It's moving. I hope it's moving. Surfboard jumping.
This is really a lot of work. I'm gonna take my sweater off.
Well, wait till we get the fish in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta cement the lock on that. How you got that thing hooked?
I don't know, probably through the fin.
I think the hooks are down right.
Well, it's getting there.
I think you finally wore it out.
Definitely wore me out.
It's an alligator.
Okay, how do you want me to do this?
It's gonna go that way. It'll go through
Wow.
the ground and he's gone.
Is he dead?
Beat him up. There's nothing left. for him.
Wow.
Okay, now I need another. Get around 4. Bring the pole up. Raise the pole up.
Oh, that's a huge one. Look at that. Oh my God.
You got a big one.
That is a
Club.
You need a club.
Joy, you did it.
Well, you're gonna release it, right?
No.
No.
Taking that sucker
That's what that fish was singing. Joy to the world was a beautiful girl, but to me, joy was only sorrow. Got it.
Well, you gotta lift him up so I can take your picture now.
Well, wait till he's all settled. Until I get my arm back.
Your
I
arm?
know.
Right.
Are you pooped? Look at that sucker.
Oh,
So
Why
we're
is he
gonna
filming?
oops,
If
sorry.
I
Who's
get
gonna
a big
film
one,
me?
somebody's gonna hook me into the boat so I don't fall.
Hook you into the
That
boat.
is the big one.
Hook the fish. Tie the people into the boat.
There you go.
We have duct tape.
Oh, serious.
Yeah, there is duct tape. Duct tape to the ladder.
Alright.
Look at Joy. There's your
Hey, Billy.
I know, but this.
Help me out, Ed.
Getting your phone? Double hitter, Judy and Paul, and keep going. There's Paul.
skipper here on this wonderful boat up here in Juneau, Alaska. It's just so hot. Look at it. We got fish on the floor. We got 3 in the boat already. Double header on. Sun is out. And it's a sunny day. It just doesn't get any better than that. Well, take it off. How come you didn't come out in your tongs? Or little thong? Right here. Getting your morning workout or your afternoon?
Yeah, I know it's just Oh my god.
Oh, here's the big one. Here's the big one.
Oh my god.
What?
I knew I was in trouble.
Yep. That's Chris Mueller.
Oh my
Eat your heart
god.
out. Your mother's got the king. Got the king. Okay, here comes Paul. He's good. He's good. He's good. Open. Oh, she's a panic. Looks like we got something going on. Okay. Oh, now he's gonna bite. We're gonna set the hook there, Jack. Okay, we're gonna do that to Judy. Paul's got his in the boat. And her arms are gonna be so stiff tomorrow morning. The skipper is gonna get mad at us because here we are, we're filming this for Dave Winkleman's Sunday show back in Minnesota. Okay. Is that like oyster? Yeah, kind of. What happens when it puts the battery dead? Oh. No. You just concentrate on keeping that tip of that rod up and running up. He does that all the time.
We have a child among us, you guys.
Where?
Billy's getting his education.
I lived with my mom.
Oh my god.
A little more moaning and groaning here. Come on. Get in this in there.
Chris, you gotta come here. You're alone.
His head. His head. Put rod up. I'm going to set that there because you're nowhere near here. Vote of confidence from the skipper. Well, now remember that. Oh, you're complaining, damn boner.
That was going to be a catch and release anyway. Judy's got fish on. Get that pole up. Get that pole up. Watch out, here comes a wave. Hang on, we're going to swing. Yeah, more moaning, more moaning. It's a chum. Don't drop the rod and reel.
What is the average total cost on this rope there?
Well, usually with tuition and board and everything, it's about 11,000. So tuition alone is only about 40,000. So he comes out pretty good.
Yeah, just got another fish on.
Greg? Yeah? You just lost the downrigger. What? Oh, there it is. We had no power to it there for a minute.
Losing a downrigger means over the side, Jess.
No, it doesn't. It means not working. It means broken, defective.
It's a baby.
I see it, Ed.
30, 45 seconds, my heart didn't beat here.
Now you're gonna keep this one, Ed.
Why?
Well, because
We
so
need to send one home to Paul.
Lois.
We will be able to, would have been able to afford that helicopter ride. You got that, Luke?
We'll make Billy pay for it.
Poor Billy.
I'm the one making the money, right?
This is excellent. This is excellent.
You were supposed to let Judy or me do it.
That's
What?
all right.
You want to reel it in?
No, no.
Not now.
Here, I'll hook a line on his pants right here, throw him over the side, you can reel him in.
I might let it go.
That might be a willing release, huh?
Catch and release.
Sorry, can't keep him undersized.
Come on over this way here. Yeah.
Rick, turn in toward shore.
Oh, there he is.
It's going over that way. Thanks.
He's gonna pull money in.
Don't lose my down there. Pillow. Pull my shirt out of the garbage can too, would you? I'll pick up the pillow, but it'll just leave my shirt in the
See a little tail.
garbage. Turn some more.
On there, Paul?
You got double?
Looks like it.
The nest.
Oh, he almost had slack there. Oh, no fucking.
There he goes. Whoa.
Hey,
Oops, sorry. That's all right. That's all right.
In the boat. There you go. Oh, great. You got 9 in the boat. Just give me one more just for good luck.
It's called cruelty to animals.
You didn't complain when you had it on your.
Hey, we're in Sitka. What? Yeah, I'm on.
Do you have voice this time?
Yeah.
we're at Sitka,
No, 7.
4th largest in the state of Alaska.
The
Only
largest
8,000.
inside, as far as land. There's a lot. There's like those ovals. See how they have the.
Yeah.
There's like so many symbols in the. in the
The
language.
gal with the
And see
poodle
that-
skirt explained it all.
She explained them, and see how see up there. There's the U, and then there's the line inside the U, and these are the basic shapes. Like when we went on the ship fishing the other day, this kid had these blue jean pants on.
Oh yeah,
and
they
he
had all the paintings and stuff.
He had the paintings on them, and they were the totem markings. So you'll see once you start noticing them, you can see that's what everything is based on.
I was wondering what the hell kind of pants those were.
New
But it was
style.
all the markings of the totem. But I don't remember, or I don't know what each of them meant, but it was real interesting. See, this one looks like a raven. This girl could probably.
What I'm worried about is what's coming
On the
up.
right side of the road, you can see a rock pile. That rock pile is taking place. There's a glacial ice underneath that. And that little valley is a barren rock that's exposed. That's the Miller Glacier. There's a section of glacier lake inside there.
That doesn't mean it's still works.
Hi, Paul.
Kind of nipply.
The phone.
4 or 5.
Paul, is this nice?
Feels like springtime in Minnesota.
Oh, I think my battery's going dead. Springtime in Minnesota, huh?
I don't wear much more than this in the winter.
Hubbard
I got
Glacier.
2 coats
It's wonderful.
on.
Oh. Joy, are you cold? Joy, are you cold?
No, but not too bad.
Probably one of those icebergs that knows.
Something to say.
Say something. Say something, Paul.
Yakutat Bay, along through the glacier calving area, whatever. This is all floating debris. It's bigger and thicker about a mile ago.
I was wondering, like the base of that glacier, under that ice was kind of that's right.
Hubbard Glacier.
I almost have to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can zoom it in, see. Get something up close. And zoom it out to get more of a wide angle. Unbelievable. Okay, this way.
It's a pee-pee bird. Carson. Matterhorn. Matter-D.
Top it off with probably the most famed dessert on the high seas. At this time, I'd like to ask you to kindly join me by putting your hands together and welcome direct from the galley, the Baked Alaska Parade. Keep it going. Don't forget, every time you clap your hands, you burn up 50 calories.
Wasn't that easy this morning?
I'll tell you what, 1/5 of a calorie.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice hand for your dining personnel? Did a great job. And this is when we find...
Okay, we're in Valdez, Alaska. Not too much to do or see here. Someone's kayaking. Hi, Joy. Big town of Valdez, Alaska.
The RF, can you see?
Yep. It's really windy. I keep.
Those ends towards the shore are the ablation zones or wastage zones. Up higher in the glacier, it's a bit thicker. And again, they have their own big little ice fields that the ice is accumulated and travels downhill then, called a cirque, C-I-R-Q-E, cirque basin.
It's cold out here.
It moved.
Real close. Kinda.
Got one more shot.
Saw it better when she went under. She got scared and grabbed the pump in her jaw and took it down.
Where the little second airplane is down there on the left-hand side, just two little red and white airplanes, right about where that second one is, he'll leave the ground. Very short field, maybe 200 feet is all he needs to take off and land. So be ready for it, it'll happen rather quickly. Here he goes, he's rotating into the airport now, and here he is, throttle to the firewall, tail off the ground. He needs about 40 miles an hour airspeed. And there he's about got it, and rotate and lift off. Now he's going to fly around and come back and land right next to us here. So you'll get a shot of these little float planes here in the background, and we'll have the picture lined up for you. We're going to be in the grandstand for a few more moments while we move down and get into position for the landing. And I mentioned these little airplanes are a lifeline to rural Alaska, and perhaps nobody has a better example of how important they are than the pilot right there himself. See, Bill Johnson lives over near this runway. It's a quick hop for him to get into his airplane and run errands for folks, and he got a phone call one morning from one of our villages just outside of Fairbanks. They wanted to fly out and pick up this. You see the little float planes right there. Now you're going to get a neat shot. You got the float planes in the foreground. You'll have the little Piper Super Cub coming in. He'll leave the little lawn decorations and all the ornaments and the park bench and the canoe right where they are, and just come right in over the water's edge. Now he's over water now. Flaps are down. He's got the power back. He's probably doing about 38 miles an hour. Now he's over ground. He can drop down a little bit more. Put the wheels on the ground. Slide to a stop right here at the bow of Discovery 3. About a 200-foot landing strip right there. Bill Johnson, Wood Pilot. Thank you very much, sir. Magnificent. Sharp left off the bow. 3 feet off the shore, perhaps. It looks like he's towing a little tree, but you can see his head there. He's got that in his mouth. The beaver are the largest rodent in North America. Scientific name, Castor canadensis. They are champion, and our neighbor Susan Butcher. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
Boy, this looks like way more fun than most people have this time in the morning. What's going on at Trailbreaker Kennels?
Well, we're having a very exciting morning. First, we're out here with young and old.
On the top.
Of puppies here. They're 9 weeks old right now. And the gray dog, 15110 back there, she's one of the oldest members of the kennel. One of our retired dogs. She's 14 years old. Jessie, and she ran in the I Get a Ride With Me in my winning team in 1990 as one of my main leaders. And all the dogs that we raise here at the kennel and that race with us, retire with us, they're really important. Not just as old friends who, of course, help us keep the count for them, but very importantly, they're the ones who help us train these younger guys. And actually, we had a very exciting night last night. One of my females, Fuslia, had a new litter of puppies, so these guys are not even 12 days old. We have 7 of them, 4 boys, 3 girls. And we like to be with the mothers when they whelp the puppies to make sure that everything goes safely. So most importantly, to be able to start to bond with them. And although their eyes are shut for the first 10 days of their life, they have a very good sense of smell. And so we like to pick up each puppy individually. And blow across their noses, and they start to get a sense of us right from the beginning. And this bonding, of course, continues throughout their whole life. Now I'm going to send this one back to their anxious mom. What we like to do with the puppies at this stage, at this 9-week-old stage, is take them on daily walks in the woods. And we always take the older dogs with them because what we're trying to teach them is the same love of adventure that we have. And also, the beginnings of a trust and be trusted relationship. And that's pretty easy to do because there are so many obstacles out there on the trail. There's some water to swim through, some steep cliffs to go up, and some big logs to climb over, and we're there to encourage the puppies over them, praise them on the other side, but most importantly, if it's too much for them, then we're there to lift them over it. And this way, they can start to understand that we'll be there for them at every stage in their life. And that is most important when they start running in harness and racing, that they can understand that we'll never ask them to go any farther or faster than they're capable of.
You know, watching all these youngsters over here, kind of this toddler stage, are you watching them for any leadership capabilities or anything like that at this early stage?
Well, I'm always looking for a next great leader, and these guys actually are such a consistent leader, although I do have a favorite in here. But we've learned that it just takes years of patience and bringing each puppy around to their full potential before we can figure out which ones are going to be the great sled dogs. And I can probably best describe that to you in the story of a dog that was born in the kennel over 20 years ago. When he was a young pup, he didn't look like he was going to be a very good sled dog. He had poor haircut, coat, knock knees, and no confidence at all. And most mushers would have given up on him and sold him as a pet. But it was a challenge that I couldn't resist to try and make him into a champion sled dog. So I worked very hard to physically bring him around through special nutrition and training. Mostly, I concentrated on his lack of confidence, and I gave him a strong name, Granite. And he soon learned to draw from my strength and confidence, and we became a very powerful team. And all that extra work paid off because Granite eventually led me to victory in the 1986 and 87 Iditarods, both of those in record time, along with countless other races between 300 and 500 miles in length. But his story goes on from there because while we were training for the 1988 racing season, he became very seriously ill. And I had to rush him down to Anchorage to a veterinary hospital to try and save his life. We set up a cot next to his kennel so that I could sleep with him there day and night, petting him and willing him to live. And finally, after 2 weeks, the veterinarians told me that I could take him home, but that he was never going to be able to run again. He had permanent damage to his heart and liver and kidneys. So I took him back to our homestead in Eureka, and he was living in the cabin with David and I. But every time we'd take the other dogs out on runs, he would cry and howl, wishing that he could go out with us. And what the veterinarians didn't understand is that Granite had grown to be a magnificent canine athlete who loved to run and race. And all the dogs love competition, and they understand when they have won. They have as much pride as any human athlete. Granite was determined to get back on the team. And slowly but surely, his test results started showing improvements that the veterinarians were astounded at. And they decided to let him start training with the little puppies on 2-mile runs. And he soon advanced to running with the yearlings on 10-mile runs. And finally, by January, he was once again running with the main team. And the veterinarians okayed him for a 200-mile race. And he took that young team to a record-setting victory. Then 1.5 months later, he went on to do the impossible. He led me to victory in the Iditarod. And he did it by pulling me through a blinding snowstorm and stopped all of my competitors. So we finished 14 hours in front of the second place musher who couldn't make it through the storm. And that made Granite the only lead dog to ever win 3 consecutive Iditarods.
Granite passed away, almost 3 years ago now, but I'm looking around the kennel, and I was over here the other day, and I noticed a lot of the old familiar bloodlines. He's still here in a way, isn't he?
Well, we definitely have a lot. We have a few of his sons and daughters still, a lot of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, so we're very lucky to have his spirit still in the kennel.
Well, you get these youngsters put away, I see, and here come some of the older dogs. You get them in the harness at an early stage, right?
Well, right. What we like to do after the young stage that you saw is about 5 months of age, we put them in harness. Now, these guys have all been in harness. The oldest ones are 12 months old, and the youngest are 7 months old here. That's a very exciting day for us, their first time in harness. We take one adult leader out in front and 4 to 6 puppies behind. And it's so instinctive in them to pull that within just a minute or two, they start to look like a small adult team of dogs. So we actually have a saying here at the kennel that it only takes us 2 minutes to teach them to go, but about 2 years to teach them to walk.
Kind of like a teenager with a driver's license. Susan, what are some of the things you do for exercise for these dogs in the summer?
Well, on a nice cool day like this is going to be wonderful. We've got a four-wheel cart that we could use on our winter trails that they can pull and do some mushing, and that's a good time for us because we're working with many of these young dogs trying to make them into young leaders. And on the hotter days, though, we have to think of other things. We like to take them swimming. They like to go back here in the lake. So we've got this modified horse walker, and each dog can take a station here, and they love to just pull this round and round, and then if one of them decides that they've had enough of the pulling, well, they can just jump on board and take a little ride.
Tori is a good one for that. But now, speaking of going for a ride, we're going to see the dogs in action pulling a sled down at the village. Who's going to be handling that for you this morning?
Well, Jesse Royer is going to be joining you down there. We've got 8 of our dogs down at the village. Many of them are retired Iditarod champions. And then we also have a lot of young yearlings that are just learning the ropes. And all of them will be just demonstrating a little bit about dog.
Well, we'll look forward to that downriver. And by the way, we'll talk more about Jesse Royer a little bit later, a champion of the Race to the Sky in Montana across the international or the Continental Divide. And more about Jesse when we get down on the Tanana River. Right now, we want to say thank you very much to a new mother, by the way, and champion of the Iditarod, Susan Butcher. Thank you once again, Susan. What a treat. We do appreciate you coming out, and we'll see Jesse downriver at the village. Take a look over here, too, at the little cabin behind the dogs and everything here on the left-hand side. That's where Susan Butcher and her husband lived for many years. Got a little daughter who's 5 now, Tekla, and they also have this brand new baby. Well, they built this bigger building here on the shore, and we thought, well, surely that's going to be the new house. No, that is the dog barn. But let me show you their new home. If you look right over top of the dog walker and back in the woods, you'll see a real pretty house they moved into last August. And that is the Munson Butcher home now. Now, you will see the dogs in action downriver, so do look forward to our visit at the Chena Indian Village in just a few. Now, they are still shedding their winter coats. If you saw them look just a little bit ragged and kind of shaggy, they are still getting rid of that winter hair. They are that's the veterinary and nutritional care. They do shed their antlers every year. The females, after the birth of the young, that little youngster there is probably 12 or 13 weeks old. So the female started growing her antlers only after the birth of that little guy. The males shed their antlers in late fall or early winter and then start growing new ones in late winter. It's a river. That's the source of power for the fish wheel. The basket scoops the salmon out of the water as they're swimming upstream. And of course, they can't see in this silty water, so it makes it very handy for the fish wheel use because the salmon don't know what's coming next. This is operated under an educational permit with the state of Alaska, so we don't have a
paddle wheel with little gnomes on them. Yeah.
Very comfortable to spend the summer indoors. These things come up really nice sometimes because it got chilly at night. We just build a fire in a log tent. But it's really exciting for the whole family to be able to spend all summer outside, especially after being inside most of the winter. And our smokehouse is much like this little one back here, but bigger. Other than that, our camp on the Yukon River, very similar to this camp on the Tanana today.
Well, Dixie, you mentioned a lot of family and many generations out there. Was this the way you picked up any survival techniques that are so important to the culture?
Well, I think this is an excellent time for the whole family to learn many different kinds of skills. But me and all my sisters, after all the chores were done around camp and staff was put up in their smokehouse, we would learn how to canvas hide, caribou hide. We also learned how to do beadwork, porcupine roller, and lots of skin sewing and winter clothing, and all these skills we learned.
That'll be a good part for the dogs as well. But this one, all the traps are thrown into a big chicken pot. They're cooked up for the dogs and come out and serve as bear alarms out here at fish camp, as we mentioned earlier. Then she'll pour the meat diagonally right down to the skin, so it'll have lots of surface area. When you mix it up, it'll take away from the skin as well. And there you can see about a 10-pound salmon dressed out in about 45 seconds. How about that? Now but that is the beginning of the process only. That is the dog food cut. What's next for that?
Well, normally when we're catching a lot of salmon, we don't like to put a wet salmon like that directly into the smoke barrel. So we use the air dry them like this over here, just until they get a nice patchy texture, a couple minutes or so. And rotate them into the smokehouse, so take them all out of the smokehouse until it's dirty dehydrated. Once the salmon is dehydrated, that's the way that comes out. Very light. This is really important because my dad goes on a long shot like this way to set up the part.
What's the difference between what you did there for the dogs and what you do to make smoked salmon for your own family to eat?
Well, when we make salmon for ourselves, we're a bit picky about how we fix it. We'll wash it really good first, then put it in a salty brine, then we would smoke it with a really good sweet wood. And up here we use alder wood. Makes for a good tasty salmon, but when we're making salmon for the dogs, we don't do any of that, and we just smoke it with cottonwood or spruce. They're not too picky.
You can't be afforded to be picky out on the trail at dinner time, and that's for sure. Well, once again, thank you very much. Mitzi Alexander. To read the trail, voice command for all the dogs the entire way. And here she comes. Whoa, how about that? Hey, parallel parking Alaskan style.
A little bit about how we live and train and work together. So I'm going to start off introducing my teammates here. First off, these are my lead dogs. This is Colors, and this is Baleen. And they have a pretty important job because, well, we have no reins or lines or anything to guide the dogs with. So it's all done with verbal commands. Now, if I want to go right, I say G. If I want to go left, I say hop. Now back here are my swim dogs. This is Salatna and Sky. Now they help my leaders get the team started as we're going on the trail. They're also capable of leading, so if I want to give my leader Colors a break, well, I can just switch these guys around. Now back here are my team dogs. This is Abigail and Yap. Now if I wanted to add more power to my team or more dogs to my team, I would do that by adding more team dogs. I would lengthen my gang line out here to accommodate the extra dogs. So say if I had a 20-dog team, well, I'd put my leaders about 100 feet out in front of my sled. You can see how important it is for those leaders to always be listening to my verbal commands. Now back here are my wheel dogs. This is Kita and Nike. Now often the wheel dogs are some of the stronger dogs in the team. They're the first to feel the weight of the sled when you're going up a hill. But they also have to be pretty agile to help pull the sled around trees and corners and things like that. Which brings us back here to my job. And that's not only to guide the dogs as we're going down the trail, but also to keep the sled upright. And I do that by shifting my weight from side to side. Sometimes I get up and help the dogs by running or pedaling or kicking with my feet. Well, you can see my teammates. They're getting pretty excited to get going. They're telling me this is my cue to quit talking and let's get back to running. So we're going to go ahead and take off. And before I do, welcome again to Tina Village.
And thank you very much, Jesse. Now, folks, watch these dogs take off. When you get that snow hook up, they'll know it's time to go. And they get real quiet, and they just like to pull. You'll see Jesse working hard back there. It's not a free ride, but watch over here. It's a neat one. She can come on right next to the garden again, straight to the boat. Excellent photographic opportunity. A little smoke curling out of the chimney, the trading post, the flag. Sliding around the bend, dancing off the runners, pushing hard, helping the dogs down the trail. It's a team effort all the way. And now watch back here. If you're outside, you might hear a right turn command. Right turn command is G. G, they went right in the kennel. Thank you very much, Jesse Royer, Seuss Butcher's Dogs. Well, folks, I'd like to invite you down here, and it is very comfortable on shore. You get back to the
Right now I'm attending the University of Alaska Fairbanks, so I'm working on my master's in teaching. But enough about me. Right now we're in the Tanana Valley, and this is the heart of Athabascan Indian country. And today we'll be sharing with you their culture. We'll show you how they skillfully survived in this environment for over 10,000 years, and how they adapted to village life and Western civilization in just the past century. On our tour, we'll have a total of 4 stops, and we strongly ask that you stay together with us as a group. We have a lot of things we'd like to share with you, and also there are 3 other groups rotating throughout the village. At the very end of our tour, you'll then have about 10 to 15 minutes to roam around the village on your own, ask questions, and to take any pictures that you might have missed along the way. But we also, at each stop, we ask that you please do not stand on the benches. Some of them are a little wobbly. But right now, I would like to turn over to my friend and fellow guide and fill in.
New to the Chena Indian Village. My name is Kelly, and I'll be your other guide today. Just to let you know a little bit about myself, I'm Athabascan Indian and Yupik Eskimo. I also have a Yupik name. Being the youngest in my family, I was given the name Atanak, which means the boss. But I'm from the village of Nenana, which is about 50 miles down the Tanana River, which we just came up. and I graduated last June from Stanford University with a degree in sociology, and I hope to attend medical school someday. But enough about me. If you look around us here at our first stop, at this stop we'd like to give you an idea of how the Athabascans survived for thousands of years prior to any contact with Westerners. Now, the anthropologists tell us that the northern Athabascan Indians had to survive in one of the harshest environmental conditions known to man, and did so for over 10,000 years. Now, prior to contact with the Westerners, the Athabascans were nomadic and constantly on the move in search of the wild game. The primary animals that they hunted were the moose and the caribou. However, they did prefer to hunt the caribou because they're a little smaller than the moose, and also they travel in herds, so this made them easier to hunt with their bone and stone weapons. To give you an idea of how they traditionally hunted the caribou, if you look in the middle of the pen, you'll see that tall wooden structure. That's what we call a single pole cache. Now, the hunters would set one of these up along the annual migratory trails of the caribou. They could climb up there and spot the oncoming herds. Also, if they had too much meat to bring back to camp all at one time, they could temporarily store some of it up there away from the animals. Now, once a herd had been spotted, the hunters would...
And this would act as a razor. Now, the result of all that work is this here. This is rawhide, and rawhide is very durable, and it's very useful, especially when it's cut into strips. And these are the strips. This is basically an all-purpose rope. It's called babiche, and this is the same material that was used at trapping.
So in this particular jacket, you'll notice the symbolic patterns of the lynx print, the wolf print, the three toes of the rabbit, and the small white ones connecting them are ptarmigan dancing on the snow. This piece is also trimmed with beaver fur and dentalium shells, and the buttons are made from moose antler. Doesn't Dixie do beautiful work?
Yeah.
Now, this next garment that the beautiful Olga is modeling for us is a traditional Athabascan Yukon-style parka. All traditional except for that big zipper up the front, of course. Traditionally, this would be a pullover parka that the woman wriggled into, and also it would have a fur lining facing the body. Now, the main body of the parka is made from muskrat. It's trimmed around the cuffs and the bottom with river otter, and the black and white diamonds you'll see are calf skin. Now, the tassels hanging throughout the parka are strips of wolverine tipped with wolf fur. And wolverine tassels were put on the parka because the wolverine is very hard to catch, and only the luckiest or most skilled trappers bring one home. So this is sort of a way for the woman to show off that her husband is a good provider and did bring home that tricky wolverine. Now you're going to want to get your cameras ready because she's going to show you the sunshine rough. Anybody want to rub noses with Olga? Now that outer... $5. Now the outer white fur is timber wool. That was used because it has long hair that can be pulled in around the face in the wind. And the darker fur nearest to her face is wolverine. Wolverine is always put nearest to the face because it has a natural oil in its fur that'll prevent your breath from freezing to it in the cold. Now in just a second, she's going to turn around and show you the back of the parka. And designs like this are passed down from mother to daughter for many generations. And Athabascan women can usually tell which region, which village, and possibly even which family another woman is from just by the design of her parka. Dixie's family trademark is displayed across the back here. It's the raised flowers. Those are made from dyed caribou hair, which has been tufted onto moose hide and surrounded by glass seed beads. Dixie learned these designs from both her mother and her grandmother, and not only is she passing them on to her children, but also in the winter she travels around to the different schools and villages, sharing her knowledge with the younger generation. And for all of Dixie's hard work and dedication to helping us preserve our culture, she was named Citizen of the Year by our local Native Corporation.
We don't have leaf ticks or heartworms in Alaska. Now, everyone is welcome to pet the dogs. They're all very friendly. They do like attention. Now, it looks like we just about have everybody here now, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Jessie, and I work at Trailbreaker Kennels.
I also have a pretty good sized kennel of sled dogs of my own. So often people come here, well, they have a lot of questions. Some of the more common ones are, well, just what kind of dogs are these? These dogs don't look much like sled dogs. They're awfully small. I expected to see a much bigger dog. So just what breed is this? Well, often when you think of a sled dog, you're probably thinking more of the Siberians and the Malamutes. They're a lot larger dogs, especially the Malamutes, which can be well over 100 pounds. Now, you know, Siberians, they are used as sled dogs, but Malamutes, they're not generally used quite as often. They're a lot larger, quite a bit slower dogs. They're sometimes used for weight pulls or maybe the occasional recreational team. But you know, comparing a Malamute to these dogs here, well, it's kind of like comparing the difference between a draft horse and a racehorse. Or maybe picture in your mind the difference between a weightlifter and a marathon runner. These dogs here are much more akin to the marathon runner than anything else. In fact, that is what they were bred for. They were bred for their endurance, their ability to travel long distances. They were used to haul mail, food, supplies, things like that from village to village. You know, it really is more about running than it is about pulling large amounts of weight. So we don't have the really big, heavy, muscular dogs that everyone's expecting to see, because we're not pulling big, heavy loads. It is more about running. Now, all the dogs in this pen, every single one of them, is an Alaskan Husky. But the Alaskan Husky, well, it's not a registered or purebred dog. Therefore, we have a variety of different looking dogs because, well, frankly, we just don't care what these dogs look like when we breed them. We don't care if they have blue eyes or brown eyes or straight tails or floppy ears. Color makes absolutely no difference. What we're looking for is things like speed, endurance, strength, intelligence, instinct, curiosity, compatibility, things like that. We're looking for what these dogs can do, not for how they look. And you know, the natives here in Alaska, they've had dog teams for thousands of years. By having a team of dogs, it made life a lot easier for them, travel a lot faster, and the dogs could also take them a lot farther distances than they could ever travel on foot. So they rewarded the dogs for their hard work by giving them much more consistent care and a much better diet. You know, we see the benefits of these awards even today. The dogs live a lot, they live a lot longer, healthier lives. Well, in this pen, they range from the youngest one in here, who's Keita right here, she's 2 years old, to the oldest one in here is this gray dog over here, that's Color, she's 11 years old. They can even live to be up to 17 and 18 quite commonly. So they're very healthy dogs. Now, being in Alaska, they've had to learn to adapt to their environment. You get down to 60 below at times in the winter, even up to 100 above in the summertime. So they have to learn to deal with both heat and cold. Now they do that by having 2 different layers of hair coat. What we see on the outside here, what's a longer, coarse guard hair. It's used to protect the dogs from wind and abrasion. But underneath of that guard hair is some really soft under downy coat. It's made up of tens of thousands of microscopic hairs the dogs will grow in each fall before winter and shed out every spring before summer. Now here's actually a little sample of some of the inner coat that we brush on all these dogs. Just a small fraction actually out of one dog. But it's very thick, it's very dense. In fact, well, it's so warm that often the muckers will collect this hair, card it, spin it in the yard, and knit sweaters that are very, very warm. There's just only one drawback to these sweaters though. If you wear them outside, you start raining, and you come back indoors, well, you're going to smell like a wet dog. No, these dogs can have very good hair coats. In fact, well, they're much more comfortable at temperatures below zero than they ever would get 80 or 90 above. They like the colder weather, they've been bred for it for hundreds of years. But even so, say we're out on the trail and we encounter a winter storm or high winds, things like that, we like to give them a lot of protection. So we do that by putting on dog jackets. Now this one that I have here, well, it's just a windstopper. We do have some that are lined with polar fleece for a little added warmth. Now, Abigail here is going to help me out. She still has her harness on. So if I was out on the trail, well, all I'd have to do is just slip this right over her head. There's a Velcro tab that goes underneath her belly here and fastens on the other side. Now, the tug on Abigail's harness, it still sticks out the back. So she can still be proudly leading our team through that winter storm wearing this bright red dog jacket. Thank you, Abby. She thinks she's got a career as a model. You know, these dogs, they also travel hundreds of miles in wintertime. Sometimes, well, they travel up to 3,000 or 4,000 miles in one winter. So they have to have very tough feet. But you know, certain snow conditions, well, they can be more abrasive to their feet than others. Like, say, soft, sticky snow, they can make good snowballs out of. We don't want to pack between their toes, or hard, crystally, icy snow. Well, to protect their feet from the abrasions of the snow, We did that by putting on dog booties. Now, if I had a 20-dog team, I'd have to pull out 80 of these booties here to put on my team. That might take me a little while to put them all on, especially if there's 40 below watt and I have the gloves on. So I'll just put on one for you to show you how it works. We'll see if we can get Nike here to help us out. Hey, Nike! Oh, come here. Now, all I have to do is I just slip this right over his foot here. There's a Velcro tab that goes around and fastens to hold it in place. And he's all ready for the races. He's wearing his bright red Nike. Boy. You know, the dogs, they rely on us quite a bit for their care and nutrition and guidance the way we train them, but we rely on them too for their instincts and their abilities to travel in the wintertime. Like just this winter, I was in a race in the lower Kenai Peninsula. It was a couple 100 miles long, and we'd never been in that area before. Now, during the middle of this race, a pretty severe winter storm came along. Lots of high winds, heavy snow, low visibility. It was in the middle of the night, and at times, I'd have to help my leaders break trails with 3 or 4 foot drifts. And at other times, because of all the new snow and the high winds and the drifting, well, I had no idea where the trail was. I couldn't tell where it was at. So I'd rely on my leaders' instincts, sense of smell and feel, to help keep us on the trail. So we had to work together as a team to get to the finish line. There's a trust and retrust relationship we have with these dogs. We rely on them just as much as they rely on us. Now, I believe I have a few minutes left for questions before we move on to our next stop. Does anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask? Do dogs stay here the winter time? Dogs that are here only are here because of the riverboat. So when the riverboat does not run, all of these dogs go back to the kennel. In fact, several of these dogs are, especially the 2 big red ones, and they're still on racing teams, will be on competitive racing teams this winter. You're probably, both of those red ones will be in the Iditarod next year. So they're only down here just in the summer months when the riverboat is running. Now I am out of time. Your guides are waiting over here to take you to your next stop. So if you have any more questions after your last stop, please come back and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you.
They use rubber.
There's gold in them hills.
All right. When I'm done or almost done, you want to go get your poke sack. Your poke sack has your gold bearing gravel in it. You get your poke sack from the poke shack. Hey, Connor. There we go. You get it from Connor. So we try to rhyme as much as we can here at the Gold Dredge. So, when you get your poke sack from the poke shack, on the right-hand side of the door there is a green crate. And they have all the gold retaining devices.
There's Ed and Joy, and Dad's gonna pan for gold.
Panhandlers. Oh, hell, I found a chunk already. Several billion. Yeah, that's what it was. 1.3 billion.
How's it gonna gold?
2 big chunks.
We're gonna retire now, right?
Geez, here they go. They showed them the little holes, and then they put in charges of
Joy has a ring in her nose today.
Give me that damn
Why don't you wear it for a while, see how many people notice.
Yeah.
You might have to wear it for a while, you can't get it out. Joy, quit picking your nose.
I'll have a mark there.
Hello, Eddie. Going back to the bus.
Might as well.
Alaska Pipeline. We're up in Fairbanks. This runs all the way down to Valdez.
in my way. That was the town in Northern Exposure.
Oh.
Maybe I'll go straight across it. Okay, we're getting on an adventure here. Woo! I've never been over here. I don't know if I'm gonna get kicked out or what. But yeah, he's in my way, so. So it is the town on Cicely, Alaska. I thought I'd show, or on Northern Exposure, I thought I'd show you these Tundra tires closer. That's what it was. Take a look at those Tundra tires. That land train is the largest land train in the world, and that is what brought the pipeline up on its back. Tires have to be big enough to sink and still roll. So that's why they are so large. Thought I'd show the other side of the coach, the tires.
So where are we really? All the signs say something different.
My winter sunglasses. Ain't no sunshine, no need to tip.
You know, it could be a second earlier, a second later, it would have missed it. It just happened. That car was in church shop. They didn't want him. And they stopped to check it out. Well, the car got in front of them and they had come over.
Right here.
First dude, you kill the cub, and then you do the female.
I just can't believe
So I used to keep the bear population down. And now, like the hunters, like all the American hunters, so he's not destroying them little puppies, see? So then there's a big explosion of small bear.
See, clowns don't need warm nights like horns needs warm nights too.
Yeah, you know when you play with it.
Then the accordion